In the Minecraft prison community, the approach to security has a spectrum. On one extreme of the spectrum, prison builders will put as much security as they possibly can before it starts doing more harm than good. Prisons like Astraeus Citadel. And on the other side of the spectrum, prison builders will see how much security they can get away with removing before, well, it's not secure. Like, Helios Citadel. This can come in the form of hollowing out unnecessary sections, seeing how much freedom and resources you can give a prisoner before it becomes a problem, and in this case, how many dimensions they have access to. Now, as with most spectrums, opting to stand on either extreme is a bad idea, and the prison I'm escaping today is the furthest I've ever seen any prison stand on the extreme of minimalism. That being Diktaean Cave, a prison that not only gives inmates access to hundreds of unique items, but also an end portal. I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong. Now, the inherent problem with allowing players to get to the end dimension is that anyone can access the end dimension, which means prisoners that go to the end can get literally any item in the game. Obviously, that's a big security problem, so naturally Diktaean Cave designed a solution to this problem, which I will call the chest minecart item purge. Here's how it works in 60 seconds or less. The only way to bring items from the end to the cell is by jumping through the end exit portal, which will take you to the bed where you set your spawn. But the prisoner bed doesn't put you back in the cell. Instead, it will send you into this stack of 4 chest minecarts, each of them completely filled with area bands. No matter what item you're holding, if you right click, you will open one of these chest minecarts, causing you to be GUI banned. If you try left clicking, you'll break the minecart, which will drop the items, but this isn't good either, because below the minecarts is a golden pressure plate, and if too many entities are on this pressure plate, the permanent kill switch will be activated. But that's not all. At the top of this corridor is a piece of string in front of an observer, and if too many minecarts are destroyed, the string will update, and that will also trigger the kill switch. Basically, there's no way to escape this room except for the intended way. Below the gold pressure plate is a magma block, and after a few seconds of standing, the magma block will kill you, which will trigger a sculk catalyst, which will unobstruct your intended respawn. So when you click respawn, you'll be back in the cell, safe and sound with no items, and the spawn point will be re-obstructed a moment later. So it seems like Diktaean Cave has found a way to let prisoners freely access the end, but as history has shown time and time again, cut off as much security as you think you can, and you fly too close to the sun. For this escape to work, I'll need a friend, so I've recruited the one and only Elkato. All I need him to do is find the nether portal, because yes, there's also a nether portal in this cell, light it, and wait in the nether for now. You see, with him in the nether and me in the end, no one is loading the cell, which means all the chunks are unloaded. While I'm in the end, I'll get all the essential escape gear I need, including a bed, a good pickaxe, and a notch apple. But there's one more item I need that is unironically the most important. Paintings. First, I'll completely fill my inventory with the paintings so I don't pick up any ban items. The moment I jump through the exit portal, all the chunks in the cell load again, and this is the point of no return, because if I die now, my items will drop onto the pressure plate and trigger the kill switch. And with these minecarts in my face, there's absolutely no way I can mine out of this corridor. But Ken, didn't you mention 2 separate security measures to stop you from breaking the minecarts? I did, but I can bypass them both. First, in theory, when I break the chest minecart, the items inside will drop onto the pressure plate and trigger the kill switch. But watch what happens when I actually break it. When I break the minecart, all the items drop and I instantly get kicked from the game. When a player logs off a server, the chunks they were loading instantly become lazy loaded. And the key element of lazy chunks is that entities aren't processed. So even though the items dropped, they aren't falling. They're floating in midair. Now here's where things get really weird. Items and lazy chunks don't despawn, but according to our testing, their despawn timer keeps running. And if it goes past 5 minutes, then when the items are loaded again, they disappear. Of course, a little while after logging off, the chunks fully unload, and this is where my friend comes in. Conveniently, the portal he entered was 2 chunks away from the items. So he can actually keep the ban items lazy loaded by throwing items through this portal, which basically functions as a manual portal loader. All he has to do is periodically throw items through the portal for 5 minutes, and when I log back on, all the ban items are gone, having never even hit the ground. At this point, if I break any more minecarts, I'll activate the second defense, the string at the top of the room. And string can stand in 2 states, powered when an entity is inside it, and not powered when there's no entity. I obviously want to remove the minecart, but to keep it from updating, I need to put another entity in its place. It's the classic Indiana Jones moment, and there's only 2 entities I can replace it with, an item frame or a painting. And you already know which one I picked. Once I place the painting inside the string, it can no longer deactivate, and I can safely break the second minecart. After that, it's just the same 5 minutes of lazy loading like before, and none of the items hit the pressure plate. At this point, I finally have enough space to mine out of the chamber without activating anything. I swim through the back rooms of the prison so I can break this trapdoor, which is part of a detector signal that's keeping me from getting back in the cell. And all that's left to do now is reunite with my friend, reset our spawn points, and burn to freedom. Thank you for watching.